You know the sound, that beautiful, lush reverb on a single instrument. It's gorgeous until you actually start playing. Then suddenly it's just mud. It completely buries your technique. But what if I told you that you could have the space of a stadium with the precision of a laser? Well, today, we're not just opening the manual. We're going to pull back the curtain on the pro's biggest secret, the invisible reverb. Okay, let's get right into it. We all love reverb, right? That sense of space and epic scale it gives something when it's all by itself. But the second you press play on the full mix, that beautiful space becomes a swamp. It just blurs the edges of everything, it smears the notes, and it shoves your performance into the background. It turns into this dense, undefined mess. What sounded so good a minute ago now just sounds unprofessional. And this is a frustration we've all felt. You hit this wall where you've poured your heart into a performance, you've dialed in the perfect tone, and then you watch it get completely lost in a sea of echoes. So, what's the deal? How do the pros get those massive, super wide sounds that are still somehow crystal clear and right in your face? What if you really could have that huge space, but with, surgical precision? All right, to crack this code, we have to go back to basics. We have to understand how our ears and our brains actually hear a room in the real world. And here's the thing, it's not what you think. When you're in a room, your brain isn't hearing a big wash of sound first. Nope, it's way smarter than that. It instantly locks onto one very specific, very crucial clue that tells it everything it needs to know. And that's it right there, the first reflection. Before all the complicated, messy echoes start bouncing around, there's one single, clean echo that hits your ear first. It's just like seeing lightning before you hear the thunder. Your brain is this incredible supercomputer that's constantly calculating the tiny time difference between the sound itself and that first bounce. That little time gap, that's everything. It's the primary piece of data your brain uses to map out the world around you and tell you exactly how big a space is. Now, here's where it gets really cool. This natural brain function is something that audio pros have been quietly, exploiting for decades. It's a psychoacoustic trick. It's a way of hacking our own biology to create a sense of space that's both huge and perfectly clear. It goes by a couple of different names, but one of the earliest was called the law of the first wavefront. This is the science behind our invisible reverb. They call it the precedence effect, or you'll also hear it called the Haas Effect. Basically, it describes what your brain does when it hears two identical sounds that are super, super close together in time. It doesn't actually hear two things, it hears one. And it uses the first sound to figure out where it's coming from. That second sound, it just adds character, it adds size. So the big question is, how close is super close? Well, for complex audio like music or a vocal, there's a magic number. And the key to this whole technique is about 40 milliseconds. Inside this tiny, tiny window of time, our brains do something incredible called temporal fusion. Let's break this down because it's really the whole trick right here. If you have a second sound that arrives after 40 milliseconds, your brain hears a distinct echo, a slap, slap. But if that second sound arrives within that 40 millisecond window, everything changes. Your brain literally fuses the two sounds together. It doesn't hear a repeat. It just hears one single sound that is bigger, wider, and more impressive. You're not perceiving an echo anymore. You're perceiving size. All right, enough of the science. How do we actually do this? The best part about this whole thing is how ridiculously simple it is. You are not going to need some fancy, expensive plugin. Seriously. The basic stock delay that came with your recording software, it'll work perfectly. So let's dial in the exact settings. Okay, you're ready? It's just 3 steps. First, the delay time. Set it somewhere inside that magic window, anywhere between about 20 and 40 milliseconds. Second, and this is the most important part, the feedback. Turn it all the way down to 0. We only want one single repeat, just like that first reflection in a real room. And finally, the mix knob. Start at around 30% and then just use your ears to blend it in. And that's it. No, really. That's the entire recipe. Simple, right? This simple little delay setting, this is the absolute key. This is how you get those wide but totally focused stereo tracks you hear on all your favorite records. You ever wonder how a single mono guitar track can sound so massive? Or how a lead vocal can feel huge, but still intimate and upfront? This is how they do it. What you're really doing here is creating a perfect double track. It's like you played or sang the exact same part twice, but with impossible machine-like precision. You're basically tricking the listener's brain into thinking the sound source itself is just physically bigger and wider. and it creates all this fullness and power, but it does it immediately and it's completely clean. So let's be totally clear on what this trick gives you. It lets you take a mono track and create a huge stereo image. It gives you a ton of spaciousness, but, and this is the game changer, unlike reverb, it doesn't push the sound away from you. If anything, it enhances the presence and makes it feel louder and more powerful, all while keeping every single ounce of clarity from your original performance. This is how you solve the mud problem. So I want to leave you with a bit of a challenge today. It's really a new philosophy, a new way to think about space in your music. It's time to move past that automatic impulse to just grab a reverb every time you want something to sound bigger. It's time to start thinking about your mixes with the kind of discipline a high-end engineer would use. Because this is the real takeaway. Look, making something sound big, that's easy. Anyone can slap a giant cathedral reverb on a track and call it a day. But getting that size while also having focus, getting that space while keeping things intimate, getting all that width with razor-sharp precision, that is the real art form. In a complex mix, achieving clarity isn't just a technical skill, it's an artistic statement. It is the ultimate luxury in tone. So, I'll leave you with this one question. The next time you're working on a track, before you even think about reaching for that reverb plugin, I want you to just try this technique instead. Experiment with it. Hear for yourself how it transforms your sound. Discover the power of this invisible reverb. Have you tried turning off your reverb today? Let me know how it goes.